What up, y'all? This ain't gonna be too long. I'm up early in the morning. Just thinking. And I've spoke on this before, but I want to speak on it again because I feel like it's so important. So important. New content on the way. In life, okay, let me break it down like this. Okay, y'all. Let me break it down like this. You got your external world and you got your internal world. Your external world, to me, is a more collective experience. Your external world is it's a more collective experience, For example, if I close my eyes, there's a different experience that I'm having. If I close my eyes, for example, meditation, I could start imagining my own. When you close your eyes, to me, you're more so regressing back into yourself, meaning memories from your solo life start popping up. Your imagination might start popping up. Memories from you start popping up. So to me, internally is a lot about what you're personally feeling, while your external world is more so the collective thoughts and feelings that you are also experiencing, that you're co-creating in. And I've noticed that, especially with dynamics, out and about, human interactions, things like that, it's like we'll act one way, which is to me the more civilized, holding back. Like it's a more you in the external realm, in the external world that we're engaging in, there's, even if you're the most hot-headed individual or just whatever, or just the most I'm not gonna let somebody tell me something, in the external world you're almost constantly it's like you're showing your true self and then sometimes holding back, showing your true self and then sometimes holding back. And then some people, they just always holding back. And what I mean by holding back is like how you would naturally react to something, it might be totally different because of the external world affects everybody. So okay, I would naturally cuss this person out. It's no different than being at work. I would naturally cuss this person out, but because I'm at work and I'm dealing with an external reality that not just affects what I do, but if I do this, now my kids is affected. If I do this, now my family is affected. Where your internal world is really just strictly kind of like you, to me. But that's the interesting thing about the internal world. I'm gonna get to that. So in life, when we have these experiences and we going about life, we're having conversations with people, we're interacting with people, and to me there's moments and instances where it's like, this motherfucker, I just sense some weird shit. Like your internal world is like you're acting, your body, your face, your speech, all of that shit, everything externally, your body is like, y'all talking about stuff, you're saying words, whatever conversation y'all was having, that's what you're focused on. That's what your external is showing, but inside they said something, emotions is getting stirred up. You said something, you're stirring up their internal world inside of them. And I was peeping that shit. I was just realizing that today, and I was just like, it's damn near like sometimes when you have certain conversations with people or certain experiences with people, it's almost like you're in two worlds with certain people sometimes. Because it's like, it's no different than women. A man, not even just women, but anybody. It's like a person coming up to you, telling you all this stuff, but inside something not sitting right. They got the, they got the look. They showing all the right gestures. She's saying all the right stuff. But something in me ain't sitting right. And then you come to find out, that person was trying to fuck you over. Or they was really trying to get with your friend. Or just like, you realize like, oh, it was an ulterior motive that was being played out. The intentions wasn't aligned. And that's when I'm realizing ever so strongly in my journey in life, just with people, it's like, it's just this human experience. And this is not a coming at nobody. This ain't attacking nobody. These are just strictly observations that I'm experiencing in this human life. And I just choose to share my experiences. And so I realize it's almost like where certain people, it's almost like, not even just with certain people, just the human experience is like two worlds almost. Where, yes, I can show you this. Yes, I can say the right words. Yes, I can make it seem like I'm listening to the conversation and da-da-da-da-da. I'm here and I'm present. But then it's like, it could also be some other things going on in the background. For example, you go to the club, or you go out to eat, or just you go out to eat, and it's a girl that's with a dude and she talking to him, but he don't know she really staring at you. Like that type of stuff. Like, and I'm pretty sure the dude who she's with, I'm pretty sure in his mind, he's sensing something is wrong. He's sensing like, this woman ain't paying that much attention to me. Like, she's acting like she's here with me. Like, it's always this, I feel like, always pay attention. This is why it's so important to do the work on yourself. Because when you do the work on yourself, that truth that you have in you, that intuition that just always knows how certain things is being played out, it gets more crystal clear the more you work on yourself. Because what can get in the way of that is your own misconceived notions about yourself and the reality that you're in. So sometimes you could be, yes, for example, like you could be thinking, oh, I'm right. This is how I thought they was viewing the situation. It's like, no, you was wrong. So the more you do work on yourself, the more you'll realize like, okay, I'm getting more clarity out of what I'm experiencing instead of getting like, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, or, I sense this, so now I'm tripping and everything is wrong. Nah, like, you gotta slow down, breathe, and really assess what's being played out. And for me, I'm realizing that it's literally be like two worlds, where it's like people will say certain things, they'll act a certain way, but deep down inside, it's some whole other shit getting played. For example, the John Mayers and the Michael Ealy with Megan Good. Like, the behavior psychology behind it all. Like, it's the stuff that go unsaid that's really what you should be paying attention to. Like, that's what I'm peeping about life. As I get older, every day I'm on this fucking planet, I swear to God. Like, that's what I'm peeping. Like, we have these conversations with people. We have these talks with people. We have these long, drawn-out conversations, all that stuff. And that's all well and fun. But I'm telling you, it be them small moments. It be them instances where you was like, what was that person just did? Or like, what was that? Like, why did they do that? Like, what was that for? That's really sometimes what we need to really be paying attention to. And even in ourselves too. What was that? Why was I just negative towards myself? Whoa, what was that? Why I just spaz on that person? We got to do the same thing to ourselves. We got to do the same thing to ourselves. You got to check yourself. But to me also too, especially when you're in this life where we got goals and aspirations, you also got to check the people around you. You also got to check, because sometimes in life I'm realizing it's like, it's a lot going on and it's nobody's fault, but it's like, for example, you could feel lost in a certain point in time, right? You feel lost. So you go to your friend and ask for help. You not knowing this person motherfucker just as lost. This motherfucker just as lost as your ass. They just got so much confidence in themselves, or just so naive, that they don't believe that they're lost. They don't believe that they're going in the wrong direction. But because they have just so much, self-esteem and stuff, and you don't, you're thinking like, oh, well, I need to be doing stuff their way. No. Like, I'm realizing in life, not only do you have to like parent yourself, but you also low-key got to parent the people around you. And what I mean by parent is like not taking control over anybody or like making somebody your kid, but in a way where it's like you are cognizant that like other people, we all like, not to say we all don't know what's going on in this world, but it's like we're all on different routes and journeys. So I can't have you lead me astray. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to peep when, like, okay, is this person for me? Okay, this person is in my life. Okay, what are they teaching me? What are they showing me? What are we growing upon? Because a lot of times I've noticed in my life, it's like even, in general, like, think about how many people we grew up on. Think about how much shit we grew up, especially the black community, especially when it comes to hip hop. And like they say it all the time. Think about how much shit we grew up on glorifying. Thinking that, damn, them niggas that we saw on TV was going the right way. They got the money, they got the cars, they got the women. And then come later find out these motherfuckers they got drug problems, suicidal issues. Like, it's like a lot of times we're shown in life, oh, that's the right direction, or oh, you need to come be over here, or you need to look at things the way I look at them. And it's like, it depends. Is your journey and route aligned with mine? Is it things in your life that's working out for you that I would like also to work in my life, so I can use you as a sample and almost kind of, okay, you doing that over there? Okay, I'm gonna take note of that. But it's like, if we got people around us that's really not in the same route and destination as us, it's not that it's, bad or anything. It's just, look, man, I'm trying to go to Florida. You trying to go to Arkansas. That ain't gonna work. I need to be with the people that's trying to go to Florida if my destination is Florida. And my destination is clarity in life. My destination is awareness in life. My destination is honesty and truth and expansion in life. And I'm realizing it's like certain people aren't, they're like, then it's not even that they're not on it, but it's just that, like, I'm a type of person. Okay, let me tell you how I am, right? I've never been one for passive aggressive energy or conversations. Meaning, like, I'm not going to, like, if I like a girl, I'm going to come up to her and tell her, like, yo, I want to take you out. Like, I think you're attractive. Like, I fuck with you. You're beautiful. Da, 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 da. Like, I'm going to let you know. I'm not going to do this, like, ring around the rosy shit. Like, where, with some women, instead of them just saying they're interested in you or talking to you, they'll just stare at you for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't really my build or makeup. Like, I can peep it, I can sense it. But to me, it's like we have a vocal box. Why would I do all these passive aggressive things? I can speak. I have a speech. I have a voice. So I can just speak what I want. But I'm noticing in life a lot of stuff is like, it's almost like, it's so interesting because it's almost like we're just using our body in our speech to just act. Meaning, like, we're just using our body in our speech for to me, the dichotomy that I be seeing sometimes with people, it's like to just play out these masks. And I understand that, in life, it requires a lot of aspects from us. So yes, we are putting on different masks every day. The mother has to put on the sexy wife sometimes for her husband. The mother also has to, be a very motherly figure to the kid. And she has to she also got to love herself and do for her. So she got to put on many masks, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has to do that, So, but I feel like you can still, even with these masks, you can still align it to where you're not being fake, or you're not lying. You're like, okay, for instance, to me, masks are not a bad thing. They're more of a neutral thing. Because, for example, I could put on a mask and go do something bad. Or I could put on a mask, and me putting on a mask is the same example of, okay, my little brother just dropped some dishes. Now, my reaction, not me personally, but just like if I was by myself, if it was just me, if I was just solo dolo, I probably would have got hot, started cussing, whatever. But I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with a younger brother. Gotta be careful how I handle the situation. Let me throw and that to me, anytime you go outside of your default of how you would originally handle something, you're putting on a mask. At work, people do it all the time. Boss talking crazy to him. This is the same dude that goddamn killed somebody 2, 3, 4 months ago. But he got family to feed now. Just got out of prison. I'ma let the boss talk to me crazy. But to me, that's putting on a mask, because your original self would have never did that. And that's what I'm talking about, just with these human interactions, which is people having conversations. It's like I'm talking to people, and it's almost like I'm sensing like, oh, you're putting on a mask right now. Or like you're doing some underhanded shit. Like what you're saying and what you're doing is not aligning with the energy that you're saying right now. So like, shawty, you telling me you love me, but I'm getting the energy that you just want some money from me. But see, and that's where the economy works at, where it's like, okay, do you feel that way because of trauma that you went through, and that, women might have fucked you over and it had been so ingrained in your head, so now you think every woman is trying to fuck you over? Or sometimes you really could be sensing, this bitch is trying to fuck me over, or just anybody. So it's like, it's about doing the internal work for yourself and getting more clarification, so that way you get more accuracy. But yeah, I'm just peeping, like, there is really a different world. It's like, we'll talk, we'll laugh, we'll make these faces, we'll show these expressions to people when we're having these conversations. It messed up, but I'm gonna finish it off. To summarize everything all up, pay attention to that feeling that you got inside, man. Pay attention to that gut feeling, because it's all about making sure yourself and the people around you are aligning with what they're saying. Because sometimes the people around us, they want to see us happy, and sometimes they just might agree for no reason. Like, there's a lot of reasons why people might do certain things, but always just make sure it's aligning with where you're at and where you want to go. Because my experience is like what I went through today, it was like I was talking to people, but it was like a whole nother game being played in the background too. Like this passive, subconscious, just like in the background communication that's just being played at the same time, I said this and you made that type of face and did that. Well, then that kind of tells me inside that might have bothered you, even though you just acted like that didn't bother you. You see what I'm saying? Like, certain things like that, like you talking to a woman and now she's getting closer and closer to you. You see what I'm saying? Like, or just like, there's certain things to me where it's just like, it's showing like, oh yeah, like, because people just don't, but that's just what happens when you don't, I feel like that's the only reason why people do things like that, is when you're not comfortable using your voice, and when you're not comfortable animating or saying what you want or doing what you want. You start doing these like underhanded, like in the background type actions where you're still trying to get somebody's attention, or you're still trying to express yourself without it being like humongously broadcasted. And that's just a very interesting aspect to me about human nature and just about people. That's just that side to me is just very interesting, because it's almost like we've agreed that we're acting sometimes. Or it's almost like we've agreed that, and I've always felt like that, even when I was on, like, am I missing something? Like, am I like, and I really feel like that. It's like, as what I'm seeing in life, it's almost like people have just agreed to be lying or just fucking over each other. Like, I remember I was watching American Psycho. I'm gonna end it after this. I remember watching American Psycho, and I remember there was a part on there where he was like, my wife is having an affair, but she probably knows I'm having an affair, like an affair on her. Like, he was literally just going out throughout the table and just almost like everybody knew they was all cheating on each other. It was just almost like a just like what's done don't already need to be spoken on, or like what's said don't need, what's already just being played out don't need to be spoken on. And that's when I'm just realizing it's like it's just, this is just a very interesting place, because it's like in one moment we're all, people will say they want this, but you're doing that instead. Like, it's just interesting to me. It's very interesting to me. Like, to me, if you fully want something, you're going to fully go for it. Now, you don't have to be so aggressive, but like, act. This is why we have a body. This is why we have a mind. This is why we have a voice. Is to declare what we want. Not to like, oh, I'm going to move over. Like, yeah, like, oh, I'm going to move over here so hopefully she see me. Or I'm going to just stare at her for a long time so hopefully she say hey to me. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I've talked to a lot of women, and women hate that shit. Women love dudes where it's just like, as soon as I see you, boom, what's up? Because women can sense that shit. Women can sense like, oh, you really wanted to say something to me, but you didn't act on it. Like, oh, you really was peeping me, but you didn't act on it. So it's like, it's just very like, but then also too, it's interesting because it's like some dudes where it's like, well, I don't act on it anymore because every time I used to voice my opinion or anything, oh, why are you talking to me? Da, 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 da. So it's like, I understand why people do that, because it's like, okay, so the reason, it could be a reason of people don't know how they're going to get perceived. So it's like, I'm going to do these small, different little type of actions because I'm scared. Well, I'm going to lose any more memory. This is it. Y'all have a good one, because this shit, storage full. I got to clean it out. So, yes. So to summarize everything, I have to come to the conclusion I just came to is that basically people feel more comfortable expressing what the collective has already deemed to be okay. But anytime they feel like I want to express myself in a more taboo way, or where experiences or conversations where I feel like, okay, what I might say or do might be taboo, I'm going to now be more passive or in the background or subtle about it, instead of being, so for example, I could go up to a girl and be like, yo, you are fine as fuck. I would love to fuck the shit out of you. That would be a very stern, direct, or I could say, you know, damn girl, your body is exquisite. I would love to, you know, if you give me some time, I would love to enjoy that. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, it's the same destination, but I took a different path. For example, another example could be like, you know, I see somebody, one of my niggas come over, he looking kind of dusty and dirty and stuff, and I'm like, I could say, damn nigga, you dirty as hell and dusty. What the fuck? Like, damn, what's been going on with you? Or I could kind of start asking, or I could say, hey, what you just finished doing? Or I could say, hey, what you been like? What's been going on with you? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different ways I could say things to still get to the same destination. So there's certain things I could still do to still get to the same destination. So, yeah. That's it, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.